Real Reds Talk. It's me, it's Sam with Chivy. And if you get that reference, you can be my friend. It's a wrestling reference. If, by the way, Chivy, if that went straight over your head. I don't know if you
Oh yeah,
remember Diamond Dallas Page. No?
I don't.
Alright, we'll move on.
Let me just tell you, this is going to reveal my age,
Here we
right?
go.
The last WrestleMania I remember
Okay.
was WrestleMania. I was a kid, by the way, but it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like WrestleMania 8 or something.
Who was the
Something like
headliner for that one?
that. I don't remember,
Can't
but
remember.
I know Undertaker was still slim,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Apparently, he's like big and fat now or something.
He's a big lad
Yeah,
now.
yeah. But he was still slim, and he used to have the hat and the
Yeah.
thing. And the guy was alive. His
Paul Bearer.
yeah, that guy.
Uh, Paul Bearer. See, this is going to turn into. I knew this would happen. Me and you do a show, and we don't talk about any football shit. We just go off and talk about other
Yeah,
stuff. It's always going to happen. Right, I'm going to try and keep it on track. We're here to talk transfers. There's a bunch of stuff happening at United. Not many incomings, to be honest with you, but quite a few sort of loan people going different places. First thing I wanted to hit on is the headline Pellistri. Facundo Pellistri is apparently going on loan this month. Fabrizio Romano mentioned that he is looking to go on loan, but they want to extend his contract before he does. And then there's a couple of journalists, including Matteo Moretto, who I have no idea who he is, has said it's done with Granada. They're just agreeing terms with the club, payment, all that sort of stuff. Chivy, yeah, how do you feel? I know you're not the biggest, not to say you don't like him, but I think you're fair to say you don't think Pellistri could make it United as like our number one winger. How do you feel about him going on loan?
well, I hope the rumors are true, um, because for his own sake, I'd hope it's true. Um, he's a really good player. Well, he's a decent player, and he's one of them ones that will fit a system. But unfortunately, it just doesn't fit our system. A, B, I honestly don't think that he has the quality to play the camp. Well, I don't think he can reach the level that we expect a winger from Manchester United to be. Now, this is nothing personal or
No.
with him. I actually quite like him. He's very disciplined as a player, but he just doesn't have enough returns to start with. And he's 22, I think now.
Yeah, some I think
And,
so.
and, and in the modern game now, this is the age where you're supposed to actually start nailing down the first team, sort of spot whatever team you're playing for, especially if you want to carry on playing international football for your country.
Hmm.
So I think it's a really good move for him and for us as well because we get to see him go. I mean, he's had a few loans already at Alaves. I don't want to
Yeah,
pronounce.
it didn't
Yeah,
go that well, did it? Like it didn't
no,
really
he
work
never
out.
had a goal. He never had any real contribution. He played a lot for them and played well. But I just see Pellistri go. I mean, I've I've been support. Obviously, been a long-term Man United fan. I've seen youth players come through and exhibit. This is just a typical Andreas Pereira sort of
Sure.
route. The Chris Eagles kind of player. He comes out, he has a glimpse here and there, but you can tell some players when you can just tell if they're made for the team and if they aren't.
Yeah.
And sadly, unfortunately, I don't think he's one of them. But I wish him well. I hope he goes
Yeah.
well. I hope he plays well so we can get at least some good money for him.
Yeah.
I'd see him playing in South America. Like he's better off going back to South America, maybe even going to MLS, making a name for himself.
Yeah.
You never know. But I don't think he has a future at Man United. And if we're going to need to raise funds, create, spaces for other players to come in, yeah, yeah, we need to let go of him.
Yeah, like I've seen moments from him when he's played, but again, like you said, I've not seen a complete game from him. I've not seen a game where I've gone, there he is, he's
Mhm.
arrived. Whereas we've seen that from Garnacho, like we've seen Garnacho come in and he's absolutely smashed it. We've gone, right, this guy has got something. Like there's
Yeah.
something there we can work with. It remains to see, Ahmad is the sort of the other outlier, isn't he, on that right hand side? And it remains to be seen if he gets given an opportunity and if he can take that opportunity because he saw what he did at Sunderland, absolutely smashed it, but he's yet to be given an opportunity. United, I think Pellistri has been given enough opportunity to show what he
Yeah.
can do at United
No.
and hasn't kicked on. But yeah, like you said, I wish him the best. I hope it works out for him at Granada. I don't know if there's I don't know if there's an option or a buyback clause or anything like that. No details have sort of been released yet, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that one.
Yeah.
The next sort of story I wanted to talk about was centre backs. We've been linked with a couple of centre backs today. There's been a couple that were quite interesting. Obviously, the long term one that we've been sort of speaking about is John Clare Todibo. He's been talked about a lot. We spoke about him on the channel many times, and I don't really want to go over old ground because nothing's come out really new with that. But Florian Plettenberg, who is I'd say quite a well-sourced, legit journalist. Like, he's got stuff correct and he's quite well connected. So I would take his stories like more seriously than I would with others. He's saying that we've been linked with Antonio Silva, who Shreyas is a massive, massive fan of. Benfica and centre-back. And then TalkSport, a little less legitimate, so take it with a pinch of salt. Saying we're being linked with Jarrad Branthwaite from Everton. Young centre-back. Is doing really, really well. He seems to be highly rated by a lot of teams in the Premier League. And then Lenry Yoro from Lille has also been linked to us. I think Romano put something saying United had inquired about him, but PSG are keeping tabs on him as well. I think Real Madrid are interested. All the usual sort of stuff like that. Those three names that I've just mentioned there, if we put aside Todibo, if you had the choice, Chivy, where are you going? Who are you going with? Because the Branthwaite one makes sense on an Ineos level, doesn't it? Like, they normally buy British, young, talent, develop. But then he's going to probably cost a fucking fortune, isn't he? Like, he's going to cost a lot of money because United, he's English, he's in the Premier League. But at the same time, Benfica don't let their players go cheap either, do they? Like, they sell players like quite high for high prices. But yeah, what are you thinking?
Yeah, Reyes release clause is 87 million, as far as I'm aware. When I read about it, like, it's 87 million. Personally, I'm not going to claim to know any of these guys. I have no idea. Like, even the Branthwaite guy, like, I know I'd heard his name before, but I thought he was like he played in another league. Apparently, he plays in the Premier League.
Yeah, for Everton.
The only thing I was a bit skeptical, because I'll be honest with you, like, I'm very skeptical about young English talent, and only because of the hype that surrounds them by the press, right? So, especially if I haven't seen them. If I've seen them, yeah, then I'll be able to make my own judgment. But if I haven't seen it and I'm hearing a lot, I always hold judgment until I see what they can do. And I haven't seen him yet, but I heard what Van Nistelrooy had to say about him. And that goes a long way, in my opinion. Yeah. And Nistelrooy thinks he's, apparently Nistelrooy recommended him to us. This is
really?
what I've heard. This is what I've read, yeah.
Okay.
Because he played at PSV last season.
Right, okay.
And Nistelrooy was the manager.
Right, okay. Got you.
So from what I read, from what I read, Nistelrooy kind of made like a recommendation. So according to Nistelrooy, he plays very well with both feet. He's quick, he's intelligent. It's everything that I like to hear from a centre-back, especially from a modern centre-back. That, that's the kind of centre-back we need now. We just don't need someone who's just there to head the balls and challenge.
Harry Maguire.
Yeah, we need more than just that, So apparently he's showing really good signs of that. Antonio Silva, I've heard a lot about him. I haven't seen him. I remember I did see like a short YouTube but I've stopped watching YouTube.
Yeah, it's just they let you down so much, don't they?
Yeah. So I don't watch any compilations anymore. Like I'd watch one for like 30 seconds. I'm like, okay, all right, But you can't really. I mean, if you watch Anthony's YouTube.
Oh, mate, he's the best player in the world. Absolute best player in the world. He looks better than Ronaldinho. Like, you think, like.
Bro, you would pay 150 million pounds if you watch Anthony's YouTube.
That's how Fergie got done with. Not Fergie, but Fergie's. Was it Bebe? They watched videos of him. They never saw him.
Well, Bebe had a really interesting story, and it was worth the gamble. And at the time, we had money. Right, yeah. So we're just like, well, it's 7 million.
Fuck it.
It can either go really well or really, really wrong. It was a really good story.
Yeah.
And Ferguson just kind of believed the story about it. And it could have turned out to be something really special, but it didn't.
Really didn't.
He will be forever indebted to us because we actually gave him a name.
Yeah,
right?
gave him a career. Absolutely.
Give him a career, really. He just scored in the African Cup of Nations, apparently.
Did he really? Is he still going?
Yeah, he's gone to Cape Verde.
Oh my God.
He's actually not Brazilian anymore, or whatever.
Oh, is he give up? Is he give up his citizenship?
So instead of being he's supposed to be Brazilian then, wasn't he? Also, supposedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's playing for Cape Verde now, and he beat Ghana.
Amazing.
Amazing. In the dying minute, yeah. So, Antonio Silva. I really don't know that much about him. I know he's very, very highly rated. I rate a lot of young people coming out of Portugal, especially Benfica.
They spot talent well, don't they?
They do. That's why So it could be a good one, but he's £87 million release clause. I don't know how much Branthwaite is. So
I mean, if we're talking United buying a British player in the Premier League, you probably cost a similar amount, isn't it? Like, because
I know that. Yeah, but Everton, aren't they have some
financial issues. Yeah.
Yeah, they have some financial issues at the
moment.
But
you know what? Under old management, though, Chivy, we couldn't get a deal in a sale. Like, well, that's how bad we are. Do you know what I mean? Like, we could walk into a closing down store and offer them more money than the fucking price listed. Like, that's how we work. That's how we roll. But maybe under Ineos, maybe we can do a deal. Maybe we can be better.
Typical Man United deal is like, they'll be like, listen, we'll give you this guy for 90 million.
Yeah.
And we'll be like 100. And they'll be like 110.
Yeah, all right. Deal.
Yeah, we've
got a good deal.
Yeah, they'll say nothing. We'll be like, how about 100?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you saw it. Like, I think, was it Van der Sar did an interview recently, and he basically told John Mertens that just he wanted to push them as far as they could go. That was the words he used on Anthony. He wanted to put, because they didn't have to sell. They sold a bunch of players that summer, and they sold Lissandro to us. So they didn't have to sell. Like, they didn't need the money, so they just pushed him as far as they could go to see how much money he could get for him. Like, that's how much of idiots we are in the transfer window. Morons. Fucking morons, man. And under the old management, I won't be surprised we paid like 80-90 million for fucking Jarrad Branthwaite. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's...
Can you imagine, like, we called, right? We called, and then they were like, just tell them 80 million. So.
Yeah. He's like, and he's like, I'm not saying that. He's like, it'd be funny. Tell him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It literally is the scene from Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
They're like,
all gathered round the phone on the speaker.
Yeah, but I really don't know what's up with those guys, especially the guy from France that you mentioned.
Todibo.
The centre-back. No, not Todibo. You mentioned someone else just now.
Oh, Lenny Yoro. I have no idea who he is. I don't know. So
Todibo, I know, right? And I would hope that we don't go for him because of his injury record. Like, he's basically another Varane.
Yeah.
Well, we're never going to get a full season off him. It's just going to be injuries. I know that it's the shiny option. It looks exotic as Todibo. I get him on a nice sort of transfer price. We might save some money on him, but nah, I'm not convinced really with him, to be honest.
Yeah. You just got to hope, like, whoever is sort of getting up above and then restructure the recruitment and all that sort of stuff, that we actually start listening to our scouts, because as we've discussed several times on this channel, our scouts actually identify very good players. They just don't fucking listen to them. Don't listen to a fucking word they say. So hopefully they start listening to our scouts, because we've identified Julian Alvarez, Nkunku, people like that. We've identified these talents and just let them go for shit money as well, like Casido. Antonio Valencia laid that up for us. I went, I know him, spoke to his family, know the club, I set it up for you, and they went, nah, not interested. So you got to hope they'll start listening to our scouts, because it's absolutely ridiculous that the way we do transfer business. It's like with Michael Elise at the minute, like, good player, doing well for the thing, but it's like, it's not exactly unearthing a gem, are we, by like that signing? Like, that's not like, we're not scouted across the world and found this like really good winger who's like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's the most laziest player identification. Like, but
it's ridiculous.
It is what it is. I wanted to speak, before I speak about the other outgoing, I want to speak on Joe Hugo. He went on loan to Burton
Mm,
Albion this week.
yeah,
Played yesterday,
yeah,
scored on his debut. I know you rate him quite highly. What do you think of that
yeah.
loan, especially like scoring on his debut as well? It seems like he's done pretty well so
Very
far.
happy. Very happy for him, honestly. Very, very happy. And I really, really hope he does really well, so that he gets a little bit of a chance. This is what we're missing from. This is one of the many things that we're missing now in this team that we used to do before, like back in the days with under Fergie. I know I'm an old Man United fan and I keep doing the whole back in the day thing, but that's the United that I remember
Yeah,
really, really well. And sometimes tradition is it's not just a thing that you just put aside. It's actually what carries this club forward. I always make a reference to the game we played against Aston Villa when Makeda scored his
yeah,
debut.
yeah.
And I always reference that game because it was really significant because in that game we started Rooney, Tevez, Ronaldo, and Nani.
Couldn't
And
sc- couldn't couldn't win the game.
apart from Ronaldo, Rooney and Tevez were absolute crap.
Yeah,
Like, they were so shit. And Nani as well. Like they were so terrible. And Fergie, this is why I really, really love Fergie. And this is why the manager now really pisses me off because he just likes to persist with underperforming players.
hmm
Now I know sometimes you need to allow a striker to play and maybe find his form. But Fergie wasn't having that. We were this is when Liverpool came really
we had
close to
to win
winning.
that. We had to win that game.
We had to, that was the game that won us the trophy because
Yep.
Liverpool were so close. And Fergie just gets mad and then takes off. He took off Nani, then he took off Rooney and Tevez.
Yeah.
And guess who comes on? He puts on Danny Welbeck and Makeda.
Yeah.
Welbeck was nowhere. He was not this Welbeck now. Like
No,
this,
no, no.
yeah, he was still a baby. He still looked like Bambi. Sort of. That was Welbeck then. Skinny Welbeck.
Yeah, he was like gangly, wasn't he? Like sort of
Very
almost.
gangly at the time. Yeah, yeah. And he brought him on. Welbeck was the guy in the youth squad then. Makeda had never, he wasn't even high. He wasn't as highly rated as Welbeck.
No.
But Ferguson trusted him. So the point I'm trying to make is sometimes you need to have players like these, players like Hugo, who are just on the boil, underneath the surface, just waiting for that chance, and then they come on. Now, Makeda didn't really go, turn out to be anything.
He didn't really. But
Welbeck had his moments.
Welbeck's still having a career at Brighton. Like he's having a little bit of resurgence now, isn't he? Like he's doing all right.
Yeah, but he had his moments for us as well. So he had his. So they actually did serve a purpose. Now I don't think Hugo is the type that will become like a Man United great or anything, but they serve a purpose. The youth, because they have an affinity to the club. They're desperate. They're hungry to perform.
Yep.
So when the big boys, when the professionals, or the seasoned pros, sometimes they get in their heads, they get in the mind fog. They can't really find that motivation or that hunger to go the extra mile. You bring in the youngsters that come in. Hugo is a natural finisher. Like it was an easy goal, but his movement to get the ball from this goal,
he wins the ball, doesn't he? Like on the halfway line, I think. Like
yeah, it's the way he times it. So he uses his body to actually shimmy the. It's just him and the defender coming in.
Yeah.
And the way he uses his body, he doesn't touch the ball. He just drops the shoulder and moves that way, and the defender follows him, and the ball just goes right through. So he doesn't even touch the ball. He just reads it perfectly. And so these are the kind of traits that I love to see in a striker. And he's one of them old school strikers, but he's a good finisher.
Yeah.
I was super happy for him, man. Really, really happy. I hope, it was his debut. He managed to save them a point. And it's a great way to start your career at Burton because already the fans are already expecting much from you. Next time the manager would like to play you more often, things like that. So yeah, I really hope he does well.
Yeah,
I'd love to see him back and given a chance.
There's always expectation in there when you come from Manchester United, even as a youth player. Like you're gonna have some sort of expectations. So it's good to see him like come on, score, and he's already off to the races. So
I don't think people realize how many of our academy players are across the Premier League. Every time I watch a game,
any team, there's going to be a player in there.
People, because I've always been like following the youth team like for a very long time, and every time there's always someone. It's like, oh, he's here now. Like, Like, there's loads. There's
Yeah,
loads.
I reckon you could go through probably every team and there'll be some sort of connection to Manchester United in their
Just
team.
about everything. I mean, apart from our rivals, but
Yeah,
just about every other team.
like
Yeah.
if you go like West Ham, Brighton, Brentford, like I'm sure in every one there's somebody
Everton,
there.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
someone there who's been a part of our
Loads of them,
academy
yeah.
or they were like in the youth system, something. So yeah,
They're
it's
all, yeah, especially if you're from the northwest of England, like as a
yeah,
youth, you came up as a youth, you at some point, if you were any good at some point, you went through our academy.
yeah,
At
yeah.
some point, yeah.
But yeah, it's good to see he's doing well. I hope he continues to do so. Speaking of young players on loan, it looks like Alvaro Fernandez is confirmed on loan to where was he going again? Is it Atletico? Is he gone to
Benfica?
Benf? Yeah, Benfica.
Yeah,
Benfica. With a option to buy of £6 million.
that's a fucking
Um,
joke.
yeah, so I just wanted to give my thoughts on it because I'm furious with this. Um, One of our sort of better youth players, I think, in pre-season. I think he showed a lot. I think he was really, really decent on that left-hand side. And then when Terrell Malacia was out and Shaw was out, I was like, sick. This guy's going to get an opportunity. And we're then playing Diego Dallo there, we're playing Amrabat there, and he goes on loan. He went on loan to Granada, I think, as well, where
I
Pellistri's
did,
going.
yeah.
Hasn't really
Did he go?
played.
When was he at Preston? Was it last season?
Yeah, last season. Player of the year.
Last season.
Player of the year for
Yeah.
Preston. So, and I'm like, this guy, I don't know why he's not getting an opportunity, and now he's gone on loan to Benfica with an option to buy of 6 million, which is just ridiculous money. Like absolutely 6 million for a guy this talented. And like we just said previously with Benfica, these dudes know how to identify talent. When they're
This is what
looking
they
at a
do.
player and they pick people up for fuck all money and then flip them about 4 or 5 years later for like triple the money. Darwin Núñez, like just like a couple of summers ago, 80 odd million, and he'd done one season, 20 goals, and they flipped him like that. It's just like these guys
Um,
know talent, and
Maria,
it's
what's his name? Jean Felix.
yeah,
It's just crazy. Like the list goes on, and there's loads of them. That's
yeah.
what they do.
And I don't understand why we've let him go because Malacia is still injured. I have no idea what's happening with him. Like there's been no updates, so I've no clue. Shaw's out again. We keep saying, oh, he's right back. He was supposed to start at the weekend and then pulled out last minute. So then we're then playing Wan-Bissaka at left back, bizarrely. Why? I don't know why that was a thing. So I'm just like, why? I don't. Of all the times you think give a youth an opportunity, this is the time. I'm like, this is it, and he's going on loan for the option to buy 6 million. It baffles me, Chivy. I really don't know. Like, give me your thoughts, but I'm furious with this one.
Yeah, so you've touched on all the points that I was going to raise, but one thing that really pisses me off, especially when it comes to youth players, is we fight for these guys. We fight off big clubs and sign them. Alvaro Fernandez, we got him from Real Madrid, and it wasn't an easy buy. Like we identified some of the top talent there. We got him. We got Marc Jurado from Barcelona, who plays right back. He hasn't really,
No.
He's been all right for the youth team, but he hasn't really kicked in the top team. But the point I'm making is that even Hannibal, we have to fight off PSG.
Garnacho as well, same thing. From Atletico.
Yeah, we fight off all these guys, and then we don't give them a chance. This is what really annoys me. Like, why would you do that? Why would you go all out for players, bring them in, and then just not nurture them enough and give them a chance? Alvaro Fernandez is such a. What I like about him a lot is he's so calm. Like he's not phased by anything. He's kind of like Garnacho. Like he plays like he's supposed to be here.
Confidence. He's got confidence on it.
Yeah, he's not phased by anything. And then, Benfica get him for 6. Get a couple of years out of him, maybe 2 years, and then, he might want to go back to Spain. Real Madrid might come, Villa, I don't know, they might sell him for. It's so stupid, man. Like what we're doing.
Yeah. According to Chris Wheeler in the Daily Mail, it says we have got a sell-on clause and a buyback in the deal. So I suppose that's something that we've learned our lesson from, because the amount of players we've let go and then they've turned out to be decent and we've just sort of cocked it up. Like So I suppose that's something. But yeah, that's for me extremely frustrating, especially for that price. Like if we're going to sell a prime youth prospect, at least get a decent chunk of change for him. A
Yeah.
loan and option to buy 6 million is stupid, but it is what it is. Final story, and then I'm gonna ask you a question about something that's happened. Yeah, Joshua Zirkzee, Florian Plettenberg again. Apparently he's one of the strikers Manchester United are looking at for the summer. Bologna don't want to let him go this January. They want to keep hold of him for the summertime. You're a very young striker. I think he was at Bayern's academy, I believe. I think I'm right in saying that. I think, what was the stat that Shreyas pulled up?
I read something about him as well. And yeah, he was a Bayern. So.
Yeah, I believe it's at Bayern. 4 goal contributions last season on loan at Anderlecht. And then, where was the other one? Let me just find this stat.
Guys, like, aren't we done? Right? Aren't we done with this kind of these kind of buys? Right?
Yeah.
This is Anthony. This is Højlund. This is prospects. Like that. This is what we are now. Just prospects. Like we need to start looking at experience. I know it's good to have youth in the team, but we need to find established players as well. They come with a lot more than just the technical ability. They come with the mentality. They come with more professionalism. These are Anthony's stats.
Yeah,
these are the kind of stats, 8 goal contributions in 20 games, kind of. Those kind of stats. Those Højlundy kind of. We need established players, mid-20s.
I think particularly in the striker position, we definitely do. Like we need an experienced striker right now.
Is he a striker like a winger or something?
I think he plays across the front line. I think he can play like multiple positions. But you're right, we need an experienced striker because Højlund showing promise, he's got something there. But to put the entire weight of goal scoring on him is extremely unfair, especially with the wingers he plays with. You need a striker who can take the weight of that. Like you need somebody experienced who can score 15, 20 goals a season and knows what they're doing and you can put in and you got no worries about them at all. You don't have to worry about them developing and stuff. So I think you're correct. Like, this is not the right sort of profile to be looking at. We need to be looking at more established strikers. But then again, like you've got to then start listening to your scouts, which is another thing we haven't done. Like what we were doing in the summer, it's like, oh, let's go for Harry Kane, the most obvious striker on the planet who's going to cost a fortune, and he's 30, and he's just like,
I mean, because the thing with prospects is there's nothing wrong with getting prospects, but you have to surround them with good players. So you can't get lots of inexperienced players and just put them all together and expect anything to happen. They haven't been through the wars. They haven't been through, those kind of games where you have to fight. There's no leadership. So imagine if we're going to play Garnacho, this Zirkzee guy, and Højlund. Like, what sort of experience? What have they been through?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, we need to have some experienced players there. Some players, I'm done with all the prospects and all that kind of stuff. Like, we need to start looking for people who are, who come, hit the ground running. We're not, because we're going to try and, let's give him another 2 years, 3 years to see what he can do. We don't have time for that anymore. There's a guy that plays for Benfica, Rafa. I don't know why I haven't. This guy he's literally like a mini Bernardo Silva.
Oh, really?
Doing up a madness in Benfica for the past 2 years now. Hasn't been linked to anyone, and I'm just there like, what's going on here? A player like that, anyway, I don't want to go into that. So
yeah, well. Tomorrow we are doing a sensible transfer show. So if you're interested in transfers, stuff like that, we're going to talk sensible transfers and we're going to get transfers because, like you said, I'm tired of us being linked with. No offense to Michael Elise, good player, but like Michael Elise and do you know what I mean? Just like players, it's just like they're good, but like are they the next level player that are going to take us? Do you know what I mean? Like It's weird. It's weird, but it's what it is. Final story, and then we will get off. Jose Mourinho lost his job at Roma today. Had a very dramatic goodbye. I saw fans were like chanting for him outside when he was leaving in his car, and he was in tears a bit. If Ten Hag lost his job, would you take him, Chibi?
No, come on.
No.
Well, take him as a permanent. If we want to do the Oli thing, right? The
Caretaker.
The caretaker thing. Maybe, because one thing we'll get is that siege mentality.
Yeah.
And he'll kind of, so Jose Mourinho is really good in doses. Like he's good in short, just for a short-term thing.
He's not the long-term option, is he?
Yeah, just come in, cause the ruckus, get the players together as one unit, piss everybody off.
Yeah.
And then you can win. And this is what he does. So on a short-term thing, yeah, it wouldn't sound like the craziest idea because at the end of the day, what do we have to lose? Like we've got.
It can't get any worse, can we?
It can't get any worse. Well, first of all, we're not going to make top four, so that's good, right?
Yeah.
But we're not going to get relegated.
No.
Right. And then I don't think we really want the Europa League.
I don't want the Europa League or the conference. I don't want either.
Or the conference, yeah. You understand. So that's like. I would rather have the Europa than the conference, right?
Yeah.
So I know Jose might actually come in, and if he comes in, might get a manager that can take us, just above that. But we have nothing to lose, really. So we might as well just do that. I don't mind. But I've seen a lot of people making fun of Jose and all that. He's one of the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah, he's up there, isn't he? Like you got managers Pep, Klopp, Fergie, Carlo, Ancelotti, Jose, like those guys are up there, aren't they?
He's one of the greatest to do it. He won 6 trophies in Porto.
Yep.
He won
a treble at Inter.
He won treble at Inter. He won 8 trophies in total at Chelsea.
Yep.
At Inter he won the treble, and then he won the.
Is it the double at Madrid?
Yeah, he won the double. He won three trophies at Madrid. He was there for 2 years. 3 trophies. He did the double. At Man United, obviously, he won 3, and then he won 1 at Roma. So we're talking of, for someone whose career started in 2002, this is 2024 now, so 22 years, we're talking of at least like 23, 24 trophies.
Yeah, one of the most successful managers of all time. Like,
yeah,
can't be argued with. Like you said, he might not be at your club for long, but most of the time when he does come in, he'll win you a trophy. Like, if nothing else, you will get a trophy.
I love Jose, man. I love him.
Do you think he comes back?
Yeah, I was happy to see him leave then. But...
Yeah, the environment that he was leaving in his wake when he lost his shit was just not good, was it? Like, I don't blame him because clearly working with these dickheads above, like, is clearly a frustrating experience. So I don't blame him in reality, but you can't have that going on. Do you think he comes back to the Premier League? You see him coming back to the Prem?
To the Prem, probably. Not at Man United though.
Newcastle?
That's the result now.
No.
They'll be stupid to do that, man. They'll be absolutely stupid to do that. I think people just need to stay clear of Jose. He can come to an Everton, I don't know.
Brentford.
But one of them ones.
Yeah.
But if you have any serious intentions at the moment, like if you want to play football, stay away from Jose Mourinho for now. Let's just, he's not the same manager as he was. I love him to death though, but
oh yeah, he changed when he came to Chelsea that first night. He changed the game, didn't he? Like, he changed everything.
That has to be one of the scariest teams that I've seen. I know Man City are doing it bad.
What was it? Is it 14 goals they conceded all season? I think that was the record. I can't remember.
Something like that. That Chelsea team was scary. It was absolutely they were just on smoke.
I'm gonna check Premier League Jose Chelsea, because I'm sure it was a ridiculous amount of goals.
They were silly.
Fewest amount of goals ever, 15 goals conceded in an entire season.
15. We won the league in 2006 because Jose left.
Yeah, that's
insane.
Why we won. Fucking
because when he came, nobody else was smelling it. Like nobody was going to win it. It was him.
They also
Like,
set the points record before City beat it with the Centurions of 95 points. 95 points, 15 goals. Like, that is insanity.
They would have done the three thing. They would have won it 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
I was so happy when he fell out and then he left, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, this is amazing. And that's why we went on our run and won 3 in a row, because Chelsea were unstoppable. Their players, I mean, from Czech, the goalkeeper, all the way to Didier Drogba, like that was just
Carvalho, Terry, Lampard,
Justin Cole, Michael Essien, Malouda, bro. Even off the bench, Salomon Kalou will come on and So man, much respect to Jose, man.
Yeah.
One match as well was crazy.
Yeah. Play with the year 2 years in a row, and then we bought him and played him on the wing. Like idiots. Fucking idiots. Anyways, I'll read some comments out and then we'll get out of here. Shreyas, De Gea, now Pellistri. I need a moment. Sorry, Shreyas. I know you're losing your boys, mate. Silva's one hell of a talent. If we can get him in a sensible price range, then Branthwaite could be a good signing. Yeah, but it's United, so we're not going to do that. Ahmad is going on loan to Middlesbrough, apparently.
I literally just saw it now.
Let me have a look at that. Where can I find that?
No, we can't do this, man. Come on, we can't fucking do it.
Reluctant Nico. Reluctant Nico. I don't know how Alan Nixon. I don't know how reliable this source is.
How's Nick? Is that Nick? Has he gone to make like a
troll account?
Nick is. I think that's just Nick trolling us.
Yeah. So I don't know how reliable he is, but yeah, apparently Middlesbrough are leading the race to sign Amad Diallo on loan, which, if true, is a fucking depressing story.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that is a depressing story, but we'll find out. Let's see if it's true. Dario Raj, we played Rooney, Berbatov, Tevez, Ronaldo against Tottenham in the famous 5-2 game. I remember that game. I do. Dan Raj, Man United are looking at golf courses as a potential new training ground. That's from Mike Keegan. Interesting.
Golf courses?
Yeah, so they're going to buy the land that a golf course on and turn it into a new training ground, apparently. So, there you go. I give up with this coach. That's from Osman. Malacia is a knee injury, apparently. Yeah, I know what the injury is, but I just don't know. Like, he keeps saying he's coming back, and he just hasn't. So I don't stand with that. Big ups and Lumen. Big up to you, mate. And then I think he was just listing sort of young players: Kovar, Eduardo, Fernandez, Hannibal, Ahmad, Pellistri, Hugo, McNeil, Gore, Isaac, Aaron. Yeah. All players that we could potentially lose, which is sad, man. Yeah, really sad. But yeah, that is the show. Thank you for coming on, Chivy. Appreciate it. Lots of news is coming out. I'm sure it will continue to happen as this crazy window goes on. I've not seen anything about Benzema, so at least that story's gone away. Even though as much as you and Nick and everybody wanted it to happen.
That was Nick. Nick put that in the universe. And all of a sudden. He mentions it, right, in passing, and then all of a sudden...
it just happens.
It could happen, yeah.
Yeah, he scouted Lisandro Martinez, didn't he? And then we signed him, so... there you go. Okay, yeah. But yeah, thanks for coming on. Appreciate everybody in the comments watching. If you're watching on demand, leave a comment. Let us know who you'd like to sign and what you think about the site, potential people going out, people coming in. Follow us on all the socials, in the bottom there in the description. We'll be back tomorrow with a sensible transfer show. Me, Nick, Shreyas, Aaron, I think that's who's coming on tomorrow. And yeah, keep your eyes on the channel. All the good stuff. Peace out, everyone.